We've all heard that we only use a small percentage of our brain. But research now shows that we actually use 100% of our brain. But the parts of our brain that are the most evolved, that give us joy and confidence and clarity and even give us the sense of consciousness and awareness, we're only using about 5% of the potential of that part of the brain. My name is Dr. Steve, and while I'm not a rocket scientist, I do have a PhD in elementary particle physics, and I'm a master facilitator of a technique called higher brain living. A higher brain living is a gentle touch protocol for using the natural energy system in the body to send a surge of energy to the prefrontal cortex, to wake it up and flip the switch in the brain from lower brain dominance, which causes stress and anxiety and worry, to higher brain dominance, where you feel joy, you feel clarity, you feel confidence. Now, what you're about to see is really remarkable and even wild, but it is scientific and it's proven. Higher brain living is a gentle touch protocol for engaging the energy in the body to engage the higher brain. This is Richard. Richard's one of our clients, and Richard's gone through the 22-step program already. The body contains pathways that have been known for centuries, millennia even. It's an energetic system in the body that's been called chi, ki, kundalini, prana, subtle energy. It has many different names, but we've now cracked the code on that system. Using a system of gentle touch, we can release that energy into the prefrontal cortex, waking it up. Now, when the higher brain engages, there's an incredible response in the body. The brain wants to rewire itself. It's neuroplastic, and in order to form new pathways, it needs energy. The first thing that the body does to respond to that request for energy in the higher brain is to send a response to the body to breathe. So what I want you to look for is a response in Richard's breath. Take note of where his body's moving right now, just so you have a baseline. This is normal breath pattern for a client that just walks in. I'm going to engage these pathways, and you're going to notice what's called a salutogenic breath. Salutogenesis is a term that means the source of health. This is not a breath that Richard's trying to take. It's a breath that automatically comes up in response to the higher brain engaging. The other thing that you're going to see is really remarkable, and that's a salutogenic wave of breath flowing through his body. So I'm about to make the first contact. This is a precise protocol of contacts in the body which engage these energetic pathways. First, there's knee contacts. Now there's one at the base of the skull, and here at the sacrum. You can already hear his breath starting up. This is the outer sign that the higher brain's engaged. And you can see his body trying to move. This is a stress dumping mechanism. The lower brain creates stress. It gets stuck in the body in the form of cortisol in the connective tissue. This motion is dumping that stress. Now, this may look wild, but this is consistent and repeatable, session over session. Again, this is not something he's trying to make happen. It's an automatic response. He's feeling amazing right now. His higher brain is engaged, and this is the part of the brain that you feel joy. This is the part of the brain that you feel ecstasy, empowerment. Richard, would you please sit up with your eyes closed, legs on that side of the table? I'm going to ask Richard now to be in a different position that we use to engage the higher brain. Even while sitting up, the higher brain remains engaged. And this is what the breath represents. The higher brain is engaged, and you can see what's happening is that there's an opening in the chest, and this represents a heart opening. There's neuronal tissue in the heart, which acts like a second brain in the body. What's happening here is an opening of that area, an opening of the heart area. And in the later stage of higher brain living, we actually connect the higher brain and the heart so that they can form a complex that they can work together. Would you now please lie down face up with your head right here, please, eyes closed. I'm going to put Richard into a third position. Again, as you can see, there's this rising of the chest, a heart opening, if you will. His higher brain is fully engaged. He's not feeling any fear. It's a complete opening of the nervous system. At this point in care, Richard has come in with what's called resolutions for his life. A resolution is an action required to get the life that you desire. He'll say them out loud in this state, and it gets anchored in the prefrontal cortex such that when he says it again out in his life, his higher brain will wake up and get him in action. And this concludes this demonstration. I've worked with hundreds of clients in over thousands of sessions. And what you see in the client's response is sustainable and reliable and consistent. Now, what you saw was just 5 minutes of what's normally a 45-minute session of engaging the higher brain. And it's part of a 22-session program where week by week, we take the action steps using a guidebook with high-end maps and strategies for taking this new highly powered brain into their life and directing their life at what they care about most, to have the life that they desire. Now, to begin your journey, go to hblstephenhirone.com. Get unstuck today so that you can live a life to its fullest potential.